Alright, let's just dive right into this explainer and completely dismantle this massive myth that you have to constantly trade your time for money. For practically our whole lives, we've been sold this fundamental lie, right? The idea that every single dollar or peso that comes in requires an hour of hard work going out. We're taught that time and money are just permanently chained together. Well, today, we are breaking those chains. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through 6 proven systems. We've ordered them from the absolute lowest initial investment to the highest, and they all operate quietly in the background. By the end of this, you're going to know exactly how to start building systems that generate income while you're busy doing other things, or honestly, even while you're fast asleep. So here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the time money myth, then cover hacking rent for profit, zero inventory digital income, silent physical cash machines, the beauty of boring businesses, and finally, building your automated system. Basically, it's an ascending ladder showing you how to build wealth starting from literally $0 all the way up to owning massive, indestructible physical assets. Okay, section 1, the time money myth, breaking the chains of trading hours for pesos. Look, we absolutely have to shift our mindset here. We are starting by attacking that core lie society constantly feeds us. We need to unlearn the idea that your earning potential is strictly capped by the 24 hours you have in a day. We're moving completely away from the exhaustion of active labor, where the second you stop working, you stop earning, and stepping into the actual truth. The real power is in creating automated machines, systems that work relentlessly 24/7 without ever asking you for a coffee break. Moving on to section 2, hacking rent for profit through rental arbitrage. Let's look at our first system on the ladder. This one requires an initial investment of roughly between $5,000 and $15,000, and it totally proves you do not even need to own a property to profit from real estate. Once you grasp this, you'll honestly never look at a standard apartment lease the exact same way again. Here's the exact playbook. Say you find a great apartment in a busy tourist area, and you sign a standard lease, let's just say for $800 a month. But here is the secret sauce. You get written permission from the landlord to sublease it on short-term rental platforms. You furnish the place, and you list it. If you rent it out for an average of just 20 nights a month at, say, $60 to $120 a night, you are suddenly generating between $1,200 and $2,400. Subtract your $800 rent, and that difference is all yours. Now, the real secret to making this passive is step 4 down there, automation. By using dynamic pricing software that just automatically adjusts to market demand, a dedicated cleaning team on autopilot, and smart locks so guests literally check themselves in, you completely remove yourself from the day-to-day operations. You just sit back and review the numbers. Now, that rental arbitrage system is amazing, right? Absolutely. But it begs a pretty massive question for anyone who doesn't just happen to have 5 or 10 grand lying around for security deposits in new furniture. What if your starting capital is literally 0? That brings us to section 3, zero inventory digital income through print-on-demand and digital products. If your budget is 0, you've got to leverage digital assets. This is our second system, and it is entirely screen-based. And the profit margin here, it's incredible. We're talking between 70% and 90%. Why? Because there is absolutely no inventory to finance. You aren't buying boxes of products and just crossing your fingers hoping they sell. The absolute magic of print-on-demand lies in delegation. You create a design, you upload it to a platform like Printful or Amazon, and that's it. That is your only job. Once it's up there, the platform handles the physical product. A customer orders a t-shirt or a mug, and the platform prints it, packs it, and ships it out. They do this 24 hours a day while you do literally nothing. You never even touch the product. You just see the money roll in. Now, a lot of people totally fail here, and it's because they ignore the rule of specificity. They try to sell to everyone. A super generic t-shirt for moms doesn't actually speak to anyone. But a t-shirt for moms who work out at 5 a.m. before the rest of the house wakes up, or, I don't know, a mug for ER doctors who live on coffee and haven't slept in 3 shifts, that speaks directly to a very specific, almost desperate audience. When someone sees a product that feels like it was custom-made exactly for their specific life, they buy it without thinking twice. And just to put the scale of this opportunity into perspective, $13 billion. That represents the massive size of the print-on-demand market last year. $13 billion. And it is not slowing down. It's continuing to grow at an incredible 26% annually. Most of that money goes to regular people who, one day, just uploaded their first targeted design and simply let the automated platform do all the heavy lifting. Similarly, what if you don't even want to sell physical designs? What if you want to sell your knowledge? Whether it's an ebook, a template, or a digital course, the beauty is you create it once and it sells infinitely. If you target a specific audience, like, say, a productivity course specifically designed for freelance designers managing multiple clients, you are tapping into a global online education market that exceeds $300 billion annually. Think about it. A digital file never breaks, it never runs out of stock, and it can be automatically delivered to a buyer on a completely different continent at 4 a.m. while you are fast asleep. It's a game changer. Alright, Section 4, Silent Physical Cash Machines. We're bridging back to the physical world now. Let's step away from the digital screens for a minute, because there are silent cash machines hiding in plain sight, right in our own neighborhoods, making money every single day. Yep. We're talking about vending machines. The exact same machines you walk past at the gym or the local hospital without a second thought. An upfront investment of $1,500 to $6,000 buys you a machine that can generate up to $600 a month. But the real secret, it's all in how you manage them. A smart vending machine operator can build a $300,000 a year business working only 4 hours a week. How is that even possible? Because they aren't driving around guessing when to restock. They just let real-time phone alerts from the machines dictate exactly when inventory is low and tell them exactly how much money is sitting inside. Next up, Section 5. The beauty of boring. Laundromats and self-storage. We have officially arrived at the climax of our ladder. These are the unsexy, incredibly boring businesses that are secretly the most indestructible wealth generators on the planet. I know they aren't glamorous, but the numbers will absolutely blow your mind. You see, trendy businesses fail all the time, but boring businesses survive because they rely on indestructible demand. Laundromats tap into this perfectly. Regardless of an economic recession or even a global pandemic, people are always going to need clean clothes. That simple, totally boring fact is exactly why this industry generates a staggering $5 billion per year in the US alone. The machines do the washing, the customers do the loading, and you just collect the revenue. Now, check out the stark contrast between these two heavyweight physical businesses. Laundromats require a pretty solid chunk of change, up to $600K to start, and take about 4 to 15 hours a week to manage. But look over at self-storage. It requires serious capital. We're talking over $1.5 million to start, but look at the time commitment. It demands less than 2 hours of your time per week. Less than 2 hours. Why? Because it's completely automated. Customers find an open unit online, they sign a digital contract, they pay automatically, and they access their unit with a digital code. If they don't pay, the system automatically locks them out and applies a late fee. You don't have to chase anyone down. Self-storage really is the ultimate recurring income machine. Just look at this number. 14 months. That is how long an average self-storage customer stays and pays automatically. They literally bring their own stuff to a big metal box, and for well over a year, you get recurring income from a single digital signature with absolutely zero effort on your part. Finally, Section 6, building your automated system. Which step on the ladder is yours? We've reached the top of the ladder. We've gone from renting out someone else's apartment to designing specific t-shirts with zero inventory, all the way to million-dollar metal storage boxes. And it's time to realize the shared DNA connecting all 6 of these completely different business models. If you take away just one thing today, let it be this quote: "The true secret to passive wealth is building a system that keeps working when you are not there." Whether it's a digital file sitting on an education platform, a smart lock on an Airbnb, an app tracking your vending machines, or an automated roll-up door at a self-storage facility, your success comes directly from removing yourself from the day-to-day equation. You are the architect here, not the employee. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to kickstart your journey away from trading your valuable hours for pesos. None of these systems promise overnight riches, okay? They all require real, front-loaded work. But the payoff at the end of that work is true freedom. So, before this explainer turns into just another good intention that you completely forget about by tomorrow morning, which of these 6 systems are you going to start building today?